Hey guys, so we are at Elections Eve. So let's go over some of the last rounds of polling right before we actually got to get out there and do this thing. So let's go ahead and go over some of the big races. If you guys are kind of curious how they're shaking out, this is what we're looking at. Over in the Senate, I'm expecting the Republicans to pick up 3 seats altogether. We've got Georgia, Walker, and Warnock. Currently, we have Walker up by zero point 0.5. I actually have Walker in this race. Next, we have New Hampshire, which would be a huge pickup for Republicans. We have Hassan and Bolduc. Bolduc is up right now. I believe that Bolduc will take this one. I believe the Democrats will take it. Here in Ohio, we have Vance versus Tim Ryan. And Vance is actually running away with that, which is fantastic to see. Over in Nevada, we have Lexalt and Masto. Uh, we have Lexalt up by 2.4. So it looks like the Republicans are going to be able to take that. That would be another big one. Kelly versus Masters in Arizona. Kelly is currently up by 1. That is the Democrat. I expect with what's going on with Kari Lake to that transfer over a little bit. Some people voting red straight down ballot. I believe Masters is going to pull this off. And then we have over in Pennsylvania, Fetterman versus Oz. I don't think I could vote for either candidate in this race. I definitely couldn't vote for Fetterman. He's not fit for office, in my opinion. But I would have a really hard time voting for Oz also. Oz is currently up by 0.1. So that race is about as tight as can be. I do think that Oz is going to squeak this out just because of the debate performance with Fetterman and some of the other big gaffes that we've seen. I don't like Fetterman's policy, not even a little bit. But given the situation with what happened with the stroke, I don't see him as being capable of holding that office, not physically or mentally. Over in the House, I'm expecting Republicans to pick up 35 seats. They currently have a 2.5 point advantage in the congressional aggregate. Just so you're aware, these are all aggregate polls. I'm not using any singular polls. So 35 seats in the House. I honestly think that's going to be a pretty safe prediction. Just so you guys have a little bit of context, even when Republicans are down by zero point 0.5 in the congressional, they still find a way to pick up seats. Right now, we're sitting at plus 2.5, so that's huge. There's no doubt that the Republicans are going to take the House. At this point, it's really just by how much. I'm seeing some sources say all the way up to 54 seats. I think that's setting the bar a little too high. I think that's being a little overly optimistic. But I think 35 seats is pretty safe. Let's get over the governor races. I think the Republicans pick up 3 seats here. Some of the big races, we have Wisconsin, Michaels versus Evers. Michaels is currently up by 0.4. With everything going on, I expect the Republican Michaels to win this. So we'll see there. This one pains me to say, but unfortunately, it is what it is. I've spoke my piece here. I don't think there is a governor in the entire U.S. that deserves to lose her seat and go to prison more than this woman. Gretchen Whitmer is up over Dixon, 4.2 points. Whitmer is probably going to take this race unless the polling is just massively off there. Again, this pains me to say. This woman's never going to face accountability for what she did to seniors during COVID lockdowns, unfortunately. Kari Lake and Katie Hobbs. Kari Lake is up by 1.8 over the woman who would not debate her. So Kari is going to carry this. That's a foregone conclusion. If I had to bet on any race that was within margin of error, it would be Kari Lake. She is going to carry this. she's going to run away with it. I don't believe the 1.8 aggregate on this one. I think by the time it's said and done, you're going to see several points, probably several points above the aggregate by the time it's over. We have Kemp versus Abrams. Kemp is going to absolutely destroy election-denying Stacey Abrams, who still has not conceded her prior election, just to be clear. Another one that I'm not happy about, some people might push back on me a little bit on this one, but it is what it is. DeWine is going to win Ohio easily. He's going to do so without my vote. I will not be voting for a gubernatorial candidate this time around. I would have really liked to have seen DeWine get primaried, but it is what it is, guys. We have Zeldin and Hochul in New York. Now, the interesting thing about this was that Zeldin, he turned it into a little bit of a race. So that's great. Anytime Republicans can get that close in New York, is absolutely fantastic. I believe he's somewhere around 5 or 6 points. So that's great, but unfortunately, Hochul is going to carry this. I don't see the polling in New York of all places being off by that much, even though it seems like when the polls are off, they do favor Republicans. We've seen that the last several election cycles. So I just don't see that one happening. But it really speaks, though, to the current situation of the political state currently, that Republican was able to go into New York and cut the difference by 2/3, half to 2/3. That's absolutely fantastic. And like I said, that really speaks to the broader picture. We don't really need to talk about Abbott or DeSantis because O'Rourke and Crist might as well not even be on the ballot. They're going to absolutely run away with it. It's probably going to come down to a contest between Abbott, DeSantis, and possibly Kemp of the three big names of who's going to win by the largest margin. My guess would be that it's probably going to be DeSantis, but I think Abbott will be within a point or two of the victory margin. So that'll just be kind of fun to watch to see how bad the Democrats get beat. So there's a lot of good news here, guys. If we can take a majority in everything and prep for 2024, we've got a lot of MAGA Republicans coming in here. They're not your typical rhinos. So I mean that's absolutely fantastic. But just keep in mind, if you want Trump or DeSantis in 2024 to have the support that they're going to need to really make change, then you need to get off your ass. You need to get out there and you need to vote, and you need to take a friend with you if you can. You need to convince somebody to go vote with you. The only way that this happens is if you go out and vote. So by tomorrow, guys, you need to have your vote done. You need to make this happen. With the state of the economy and with everything going on, you need to get out there and vote. You know the Democrats are nervous right now. They're well aware that things are not going well. You have Biden out actively campaigning for Democrats in what is supposed to be safe districts for them. Safe districts, and Biden is showing up to campaign for them, which, to be honest, if you're a Democrat, I don't know why you would want Biden coming and campaigning for you. He's by far the least favorable Democrat in the last 20, 30 years. Probably since Carter, to be honest. That's just off the top of my head. Don't quote me on that, but I mean, Clinton was much more popular. Obama was much more popular, at least until he started, being called out for bombing kids. But yeah, guys, you have to get out and vote. There's a lot of good going on here. Don't let these polls and the good that's coming out with them deter you from getting out there and voting. Because once again, remember, this only happens if you get out there and you make it happen. If COVID taught us anything, it's that you can't just stand idle and hope that politics does not interfere with your life. It absolutely does. So if you want to see change, if you're tired of this inflation, if you're tired of this CRT, if you're tired of the transing of kids, at all these defund the police, this free college, if you are tired of seeing these things and you're tired of being hammered on inflation and the rise in taxes that this is inevitably going to bring, you need to get out there and vote, and you need to make these polls a reality. Thanks, guys.